You're watching Drake Queen Gaming. Enjoy the video.
Hey guys and gals, Nary here from Drake Queen Gaming, a Southern announcer with the Gaming Drag. Today I'm coming back at you another Let's Play episode of Kingsguard. I've got the latest update, y'all. And before we jump into it, I'm just going to go ahead and remind y'all that our Patreon is now up for as little as $5. Y'all can help support the channel and get access to exclusive rewards like permanent access to our community Discord server and full access to upcoming Not Safe for Work videos. All that for as little as $5. Anyway, y'all, I'll be a little quiet because my partner's trying to sleep behind me. Anyway, let's go ahead and jump right back in. Alarm Shady, we're up, and let's go. Alright. So, no exotic dancers? No. Any fights to bet on? I'd rather there be as little bloodshed as possible. Gambling? I guess we could start a few games if you really want. Huh. What about a hookah? You must have at least an imported hookah. Hookah? So there's going to be talking, maybe some music, maybe a bit of dancing. What kind of lame-ass party is this going to be? As I said, it's not really a party, it's mostly just going to be people talking. So there aren't going to be any prostitutes then? This is Yusan Castle, not a brothel. You will have to look elsewhere if you wish for that sort of entertainment. Anyway, Jake, it looks like it's almost time. Everyone is already gathered and waiting. We just require you now. Leaving so soon? Soon is not soon enough. Still don't trust me, I see. Well, whatever. So, where are we going now? You won't be going anywhere. What? What do you expect me to do then? Stand around twiddling my thumbs? Yes, that's exactly what I expect you to do. Huh. Let's see. Jake has to prepare for the coronation, and you have your own job to do as well. Thought that entailed keeping watch over the kid. You can do so at a distance. We don't need you for this, so you can stay here until you are given further orders. Orders? Listen here, Fox. Leo invited me here so that it makes me a guest, not a damn servant. I don't take orders, I take requests. Of course, as a guest, I think I'm entitled to a little more respect than that. And another thing, Leandros already appointed me as his kid's guardian, so that should entail that I keep an eye on him. I got paid to do that, and that's what I intend to do. Guardian? Leandros would never trust someone like you with such an imperative task. Don't believe me? Just ask your prince. Jake, is this true? Why didn't he ask me? I don't really know. What, are you disappointed or something? Ramos grinned, seemingly satisfied that he was getting under the fox's skin. If that is what Leandros' decision is, then I have no right to criticize. I do hope you know the severity of your job. You're keeping the prince safe from harm. Yeah, I've heard it all before. He won't have a hair missing from his pretty little head. He broke away from Ramos and leaned over to Kashiro to whisper into his ear. Kashiro, I don't trust him either, but perhaps it's better that he isn't left alone. Yes, I suppose that's true. We can now keep a watch on him, though I do not like the idea of him being close to both the king, the high priest, and you. I trust he won't try anything funny, not with Leandros there at least. Kashiro nodded. You lovebirds done whispering sweet nothings to each other? Very well, you may join as well. But you will be in the presence of the king and the high priest. You may have been given leeway around the prince because of his kindness, but the king will not tolerate boorish behavior. If you wish to leave alive, then I suggest you watch how you speak. He found Leandros already waiting outside the waiting room. He had managed to bring order back to the castle. Thankfully, he reported that Ramos only really hurt a few soldiers. The rest were back on their feet. With so few casualties, Leandros managed to quickly bring back peace to the troubled soldiers and rebuild the castle's defenses with no troubles at all. He entered the room with Kashiro, but Leandros stopped Ramos at the door. He said he needed to have another talk, and they would be in shortly. Everyone was already waiting, and all turned to you as you entered. Your father walked forth and smiled. It's good to know that you are all right. I'm just glad it wasn't who we were expecting. It is also a good thing that Leandros was able to handle everything so quickly. Yes, but let's not worry about that, right? No one should get in now without an invitation. Come, it's time to get you properly adorned. A servant brought forth a mannequin already fitted with an outfit for you to wear. Black leather and silver silk mixed luxuriously together with deep purples and reds as accents. Take it, water time. Oh yeah, there we go. He felt almost too honored to wear it. As soon as you tried it on and showed it to your father, he had nothing but praise for it. You should definitely get some whispers among the nobles when they see you. You think so? I hope it's not just the clothes they'll be talking about, though. That will depend on you, of course. Stand firm and tall. You need to show them that you were born for this. Still sounds a little daunting. You'll do just fine. Leandros walked in with Ramos trailing behind him. It came as a surprise to everyone, but Leandros, Kishiro, and yourself to find the rhino in the room. They all sort of stared for a while, unsure what to say until Leandros reassured them with a tale that sounded anything but far-fetched. After a few more moments of letting it sink in, they seemed to accept it for the most part, though you could tell your father wasn't buying it by the look he gave Leandros. The final piece of your outfit was a heavy cloak that draped around your shoulders and covered your body down to your shoes. It was clipped together with a golden signet etched with the crest of the nation. Truly grand. If only your mother could see you now. She would be so proud. If this were our first meeting, it wouldn't be that hard to convince me that you were king. I'm almost at a loss for words. It really does suit you. Even I have to admit, it's not a bad look. Is something the matter? I was just thinking about your mother. Your father wiped a tear from his eye. Everyone, would you please leave the two of us for a moment? Everyone bowed and then left, except for Ramos, who had to be dragged out of the room. So, are you still feeling confident? I'm a little nervous, but knowing that I have everyone's support is kind of helping. You didn't kick the others out just to say that, though, did you? No. We haven't had much time to talk alone lately. I felt that perhaps we could have one last chat. One last chat? You're not giving up already, are you? Did you say that the guards have everything handled? Jake, please, I didn't mean it like that. Then what did you mean? I might be going away soon. What? I just wanted to have one last talk with you as father and son before I go. Where are you going? That doesn't matter. I think it does. You can't just leave me here, especially right now. The country needs you. I still need you. What could be so important that you have to pack up and go? I'm going after your mother. My mother? Do you know where she is? I have an idea. That is why I will be departing soon. And take me along, too. I want to see her again. No. I mean, I need someone here to watch the kingdom. That's not fair. You always leave me behind with stuff like this. Jake, please, I need you to understand. I can't trust the kingdom to anyone else but you. If I could take you along, I would... You turned your back to your father to keep him from seeing the tears in your eyes. Jake! Just go. You're king anyway. Not much I could do to stop you. But if you do go, you better promise me that you will bring her back, no matter how long it takes. I'll try. No, I want you to promise me. I promise. Good. You can leave after the ceremony then. The sooner the better. You really are like your mother. You're not going to win me over with a cliché line like that. From her hair to her eyes to her nose, down to even the way that she speaks, she really inherited more of her than me. I'm still angry with you. I never know how to win an argument with her either. She was always a quick thinker, and that silver tongue shut me up more times than I could count. When I get back, you'll have to be sure to introduce us to your lover. What? What are you saying? No need to get flustered. It's just that I really wish I could have met them before I leave. I'm sure she will want to as well. Just like you to change the topic. Were you getting that I'm interested in anyone anyhow? Well, yesterday you said you had someone in mind, did you not? I don't imagine it's any of the suitors I introduced to you. Most of them left in tears. Just weren't really my type. I know. Women aren't really your thing. What? I guess I hoped that you would have changed your mind if I sent you the right lady. That was another shameful decision that I forced on you. What are you saying? Water time. You prefer to be with a man, right? I suppose saying it bluntly might not have been the right way to approach this. He wanted to laugh it off, tell him that he was mistaken, but he didn't look to be in a joking mood. He knew now. Somehow he found out, and he felt your heart drop down into your shoes. How do you know? I kept it a secret as best I could. Despite never really spending much time with you, I am your father and your king. Doesn't prove anything. Who told you? It was Leandros, wasn't it? Jake, there's no need for you to get so upset about this. You needn't worry about him spilling your secret. I learned about it on my own. The fact that you never once gave any of your suitors a kiss, even on the hand, was just one of several giveaways. There's nothing to be ashamed about. You're rather calm about this. I've been keeping this a secret from you for so many years now, and you turn around and say you do the whole time? You don't realize how embarrassing this is. You're right. Jake, listen, you're not alone in this, though. What? You're gonna say that there are others like me? I know that. Just kill me now. I thought you would have known about this, but there was a past king who would rather enjoy the company of men over women. No way. Though he kept it a secret from the kingdom, he lived a life of misery knowing that he never truly loved his queen. Your great-great-great-great-great-grandfather Werner II. Perhaps you've seen him in the gallery, amidst all the others who look bored in their portraits. His is the most striking. He had a particular flair when it came to fashion that even outdid the queen. You recall looking at a picture of the man your father spoke of. His attire in the painting was certainly unique in that it used multiple different colors and designs. His face always looked kind of sad to you. His eyes were a bit empty while everyone else simply looked bored. He was put on the throne right after the Mad King was assassinated. His line before that was carefree, able to love whoever he wanted. His life before that, okay. I had heard stories of his rambunctiousness in his youth. He'd stay up late into the night and only come back home at dawn. Once he became king, he had to give that up. His image was important. They needed someone whom the people could trust, so they buried his secret to only a few. Is that what I need to do then? Jake, you're not truly listening. I'm telling you this so that you don't end up like him. His one regret was that he couldn't stay true to himself. The life he had to live and the secret he had to keep pushed him further into despair. But what about a queen? You can't have a child with two men. You were talking about an heir, I presume. Is that not what you would want? I won't lie. If you found someone who could give birth to a child who would carry on the family name, that would make me happy, but at the cost of your own happiness. I often thought about it. What could I say to you, or what could I do for you? The suitors was just one of many options, but was the one I felt the most comfortable with. I didn't want to give up on the fact that perhaps you just needed to find the right woman like I did. But deep inside I knew that wasn't true. I was likely just being a bother to you. Jake, you'll be king soon. And I won't be there to baby you anymore, or keep you in a cage to control your life. The decision will be entirely up to you on how you lead your life. If you choose to go by tradition, to have a queen at your side, then know that I am there for you. If you choose to follow your heart, and find someone who loves you as well, even if that means that we will have two kings, you should know that I have already accepted that as well. The same would be with your mother. Either way, as long as it makes you happy, I will feel at peace.
Your Highness, I am sorry to interrupt, but we mustn't keep the guests waiting. The ceremony must be done on time.
Very well, give us just a few more minutes.
So you really don't mind?
I already know that you will be a better ruler than I. You show so much compassion for others and aren't afraid to back down to your convictions. You understand that the people whom you rule over are not just pawns. They're your power, your strength, maybe even considered your children. You have the makings of a king, and will do more than just fine without my guidance. Water time. I trust you as well to find the right person to follow alongside you through heaven and hell. Jake, there's nothing else for me to say. I'll always be proud of you. I love you. Your father gave you one long hug and your anger, worry, and shame washed away. How about it? Are you ready to face the nobles? Yes.
Maybe not yet.
There's still something else that is bothering you. No. If anything is troubling you, I'm still here. The grandfather clock in the room chimed harmoniously with the bells from the clock tower in the center of the town. Outside, music echoed through the city as the bells played a beautiful tune to ring in the new hour. It was changed ever so slightly, though, to commemorate the day. You walked out of the room with your father and embraced the fate to come. You stood near your father, who sat on the throne. His fingers slightly tapped the arms in rhythm as though he was the more nervous one. You eyed everyone else who was currently in the room, patiently awaiting for the coronation to begin. Kashir and Leandros waited at the bottom of the stairs with about two dozen of your soldiers lined up like a human wall. They nodded at your father that everyone was in place and took a quick glance at you as well. On the other side of the wall was Ramos, arms crossed and toe-tapping. He seemed to be avoiding your gaze, most likely because of the talk he and Leandros had with your father just before arriving to the throne room. You wagered a guess as to what it was about, or likely who it was about. Your aunt and uncle stood at the far right side of the room. They smiled and discreetly waved towards you. Your father stood and commanded the guards to open the door. Slowly the nobles, accompanied by their escorts, shuffled into the room. You swallowed hard, hoping to sate an annoying itch forming in your throat. It grew more irritating as the nobles gathered gathered, so you forced a mute cough. You brought your hands up to your neck and scratched. It didn't help. Even if you wanted to ignore it, you couldn't. It was far too vexing. Alright, y'all, I'm gonna go ahead and pause it right there. Thank y'all so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, ring that notification bell. And, go ahead and check out our Patreon, y'all. It definitely helps the channel. Anyway, I love you all. I'll see y'all in the next video. Bye-bye.